Next card, some guy named Wayne Gretzky.
But yeah, this to me is my favorite card of all time, and I'm talking about this specific card. This one you're looking at here is my first Gretzky rookie card. My mother was at a yard sale or an auction actually in Western Nova Scotia. She bought a box of cards for $10. She brought the box home, and my brother and I looked at them and they said, "Oh man, they're the blue ones. I wonder if the Gretzky rookie's in there." Because my brother and I wanted a Gretzky rookie, but I mean we're 13 and 11 or 14 and 12, whatever we are, and it's well out of our price range. And we rifled through, and there this one was. You can see it's got a little marker sign on the Oilers sign, so it's not in great shape. It's not worth much, but it's the story behind it. So my brother and I share this card to this day. We both own it, but as I like to say, I have full custody. It resides in my house, and brother visits it once in a while when he comes up. And the cool story behind that card too, Joe, is I love those old Oilers uniforms. You can see that's the WHA uniform. And if you can believe it, that picture was taken in Springfield, Massachusetts. The Oilers were playing the Whalers, and they had to play in Springfield because the rink of the Hartford Civic Center collapsed due to massive snowfall. So if anyone's wondering, why that card looks so innocent, because it's taken in, an old minor league barn where Eddie Shore used to coach. So there's a cool story behind that as well.
So now I heard recently that a Wayne Gretzky rookie card, a Peachy Gretzky rookie card sold for $3.75 million. Is this the same
Correct.
card?
That's the same card in massively different condition. So when it comes to cards, condition is everything. So right. I mean, you look at this one, you can see the top right corner, you see the white on the blue that's rounding. Yeah. I mean, you see the centering from side to side is off. See the markings on the Oilers logo. You see the bottom right corner is a little whited. Even the other corner that appears to be clean, you can see a little white on it. Card graders it's like the hardest math exam you ever took. Take the hardest teacher you ever had and multiply him by about 1 billion. That's how strictly they grade. So a lot of people will come up to me and say, "Oh, I've got a Gretzky. It's in perfect condition." And I'll say, "No, it's not." And they'll say, "Yes, it is." And I'll look at it and I'll say, "I hate to." And a lot of times as a card guy, you're the bearer of bad news. Because grading is, and people will say, "What will I get in a grade?" And I'm always very reluctant to say, "You're going to get this, you're going to get that." They literally are looking at it under microscopes. All these I don't know, microscopes, magnifying glasses, I should say. So it's very, I don't know. I think it's still subjective, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But if you get a card in a 10, you're laughing. But that one would probably get a 1, I would guess. Be my guess, something like that.
I had an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
a 1 out of 10.
That would get a 1. That would get a 1.
I'm thinking that if a perfect one sold for $3.75 million, I'm giving you 2.5 for that one.
I'll take it. You back the truck up. I'll take the 2.5. But it's funny because there's only been 2 Gretzky's graded PSA 10, and the first one graded PSA 10. People will look at it and they go, "That is not 10." Yeah. So again, even when it comes to grading, people will look at it and they go, "Well, how did that get a 10? Or how did that only get a 7?" So it's scrapping never stops, really. Grading's a great way to make money if you're the grader. That's what I've always said about grading.
Is that like judges in boxing?
Not that dirty. No, I don't think it's that crazy. Nothing's quite that greasy. Yeah. But when it comes to grading, it's my first question is always, well, who's grading it? What's the standard? So I mean, I'm not the biggest guy on grading, which is strange because I showed you a few grading cards there. But if I was selling a card purely for investment, I'd grade it and sell it. But if it's just my card, I don't care if it's graded or not.
So if the perfect Gretzky card is 3.75 and that's graded at a 1, which I can't believe, what's how far down the money chart have you fallen here?
Oh, the one that I have there. That would probably get you raw. When I say raw, that means not in a case. A few years ago, that'd get you $400. Now it'd probably be like retail. I'd say $2,000, $2,500, something like that. High end, I'm guessing, maybe a little lower.